since the 21 years in which the...
Well, isn't gonna change in
Yeah.
20 years.
It's grown exponentially. There are so many more immigrants now, and they're being misrepresented, underrepresented.
And I think that
Growth of an underground.
underground class or underground.
And why are they
Immigrant population, underground undocumented immigrant population.
And they're underground because they don't have a voice, because they don't have rights, because they're not protected. And why aren't they protected, and why don't they have rights? Because the laws haven't changed for 21 years.
Yeah.
And what do you plan to do about it? And my name is Ashley, and I grew up in Tucker and Dalton, Georgia. And because of the diversity with which I was surrounded as I grew up, I have an appreciation and a unique understanding for the specific needs of the growing population and of the...
How should I input the whole school thing? I think because your school has been there, I mean, you're 18, 19, you know, you've been in school since the last immigration reform.
You've seen it change
And
dramatically.
when you started school, I think it's important to say, you know, when I started school, and you know, when I went to kindergarten,
I was a member of the majority.
you know, when I was in kindergarten, the majority of my school was white.
Right.
You know, the majority of my school was white.
Mm-hmm.
And when I graduated in, you know, 2007, you know, my school had become much more diverse.
With
the Hispanic and the Black
Oh, you should. I
say
think so. I think that's important.
Say immigrant Hispanics made up.
But I think you need to follow it up with something.
They made up a large proportion of the majority of your high school population. The tragedy of that is that the majority of those, even though they're the majority, they still have less of a voice than the minority white students who go to that school.
Right, but I think you follow up the sentence of that they were a majority of our school with the statement you had said earlier about I really celebrate the fact that I really felt, you know, yeah,
diverse community.
The crap out of me because feel it.
Can I type this seriously?
yeah, sure.
Because typing would help me out so much better than writing.
You want to type it on my computer?
That would be fantastic.
You want me to bring it down here?
Yeah.
Alright.
He
Okay.
was trying, yeah.
I don't think it's running and stuff.
Yeah, it's recording.
Oh, okay. But that's your sentence. I mean, you don't have to say anything more than that. And those are your words.
But what about the question? We have not.
Yeah, you're getting there.
Oh, okay.
This is, you know, you're leading up. You've already recognized, hey, it's been, you know.
Yeah.
You know.
Since this long.
It's been this long, immigration reform. You know, I've seen it. Or, you know, well, I guess you say, you know, I've heard it. And
It was so bad that literally of all of the DeKalb County high schools were like they did this thing where they tried to like switch people around and they took over a rundown middle school that was closed for like 10 years to be able to keep everybody that we had. Every high school around was still over. Like you know how like the law is like there could only be 30 in class. I had one class that almost had like 39 people in it.
Yeah. Well, okay.
I'm not saying it's credit.
Kindergarten, you were the majority. It was majority white. Your graduating class, majority African American and Hispanic. You celebrated that diversity. And then
What I was going to do is I was going to write the question down. Your question is, what he's going to write down here. But your question is,
Why hasn't
immigration reform there's a law for immigration reform or whatever, it hasn't been changed in 21 years. since those 21 years, dramatic increases in the population of, undocumented immigrants.
Our society has changed greatly since the last, over the last 21 years.
Exponentially.
You know, our society's changed greatly after the last 21 years, which is, and now, you know, and today, we have an
Woefully,
abundant
yeah.
underground class of undocumented immigrants with children, you know,
Without the children healthy and education, our society will crumble and just go to hole.
but but then you get back to
Huh?
you recognize.
Alright, let's say.
Okay.
My
But
name
it
is.
is, yeah. Cause it's gotta be so concise.
Yeah, so.
My name is Ashley Owens. And I was born and raised in Tucker,